Welcome back, everybody. I am the Casual Shark, and today we're going to dive into a movie review. The movie that we're going to review, it's a classic thriller, and it redefined a genre. It's Steven Spielberg's Jaws. It was released in 1975, and it terrified the audiences back in that day. And it was a movie that set a new standard for summer blockbusters. But let's look at how it compares to the cinematic landscape today versus then. So first off, Jaws, it's set in a small town of Amity Island that was actually filmed at Martha's Vineyard. And it's about a giant great white shark that begins to terrorize the residents of Amity. And the story follows Police Chief Martin Brody, that's played by Roy Scheider, marine biologist Matt Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, and the professional shark hunter Quint, played by Robert Shaw. And they all team up to hunt down this monstrous shark. And throughout the film, you can just feel the suspense building, especially when you hear John Williams' iconic score. And that theme, it's basically the theme song or the theme music to Jaws. And it just keeps you on the edge of your seat, and you're trying to figure out what's about to happen, what's about to go wrong. Modern relevance for this movie, even though it's nearly 50 years old, it's incredibly relevant. So it creates a theme of fear in the community and the struggle against nature, which we see in so many movies nowadays. But one of the practical effects that they pushed so hard in this movie was the mechanical shark. And believe it or not, it still holds up. So the difference between the mechanical shark and CGI sharks is, if you have the real mechanical shark, it's a tangible sense of danger. You can actually see the shark coming to you or see the fins in the water, whereas CGI, it's computer generated. So I mean, the actors don't really see the shark coming at them. But when it comes to Jaws, the actors saw the fin out of the water. They saw the shark coming when they're in the cage underwater. And it's a different type of suspense and terror than what we see today. So movies that were inspired by Jaws that do primarily use CGI are movies like The Meg, 47 Meters Down, and The Shallows. They're all fantastic movies made between 2016 2018, but they use CGI. They're a different type of horror, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Jaws. So let's talk about some of the techniques they used inside of Jaws. One of the main aspects that stands out is its cinematography. Spielberg's decision to show the shark sparingly creates that sense of mystery and dread. You get to see underwater shots of the shark, whether it's from Hooper when he's inside the cage, or it's the real footage of sharks. You can tell it's a drastic difference between what the real shark is and what the mechanical shark is, but they both do a great job playing together to create the fear that this movie really has to offer. So they also used from the shark's point of view. So like you would see the shark coming towards its victim or coming towards the boat, feeling the dread that whatever it's going towards would feel. So if you're a victim on the beach and you see that fin coming out of the water, just imagine the fear. Show the cinematography and the underwater, the filming. We're going to take a look at Hooper when he's in the cage, and here you can see he's in the cage. Now it's busted through the cage. You can feel the fear coming from Hooper. And I don't believe that's something that CGI can really portray. Whereas here you have a real mechanical shark coming through a cage. And to me, it just has a completely different impact than what CGI does. But moving on from techniques, let's talk about the cultural and the industry impacts this movie had. So it had a huge impact on the film industry, and it was one of the first films to be released nationwide simultaneously in over 400 theaters. So it was also the first movie to gross over $100 million at the box office, and that was the highest grossing movie until Star Wars released in 1977. This movie was a game changer back in 1975, and it led to so many different ideas that we have today.
The situation is that apparently a great white shark
it also changed things in the cultural or in the worldview. So it sparked a widespread fear of sharks. People were afraid to go to the beach. People were afraid to get into the water. They were just afraid that Jaws was going to come get them. And so it influenced public perception, and it was a movie about a fake shark. That shows how much detail and how well it was portrayed on the big screen. But it did lead to increased shark hunting, and sharks started to become in danger. So that also raised awareness for marine life and the importance of ocean conservation. So Jaws had a huge impact, whether it was on the film industry, actually the worldview, but this movie has been impacting things for nearly 50 years. In conclusion, Jaws is a masterpiece. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, and I believe it has stood the test of time. It has withstood 50 years of time. It blends different things together like suspense and character development and groundbreaking techniques for that time. And if you haven't seen it, I 100% recommend going and watching this movie. It's drastically different than what you'll watch in today's movies, but whether you're a longtime fan or you love classic movies or you're a newcomer to it, I believe you're going to love the movie Jaws. It's a thrilling experience, and I'm going to play you one scene. I don't want to leave spoilers for the movie just in case you've never seen it, but even if you've never seen the movie, you've probably at least heard this quote or seen this scene somewhere. And here is one of the first times you really see the shark up close and personal, and you see Martin Brody scared to death, and then he tells Quint, we're gonna need a bigger boat. Alright everybody, that's gonna do it for my review of Jaws. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment letting me know what your favorite shark movie is, and be sure to subscribe for more movie reviews, gaming reviews, and just much more, and I'll see you in the next one.